March 30th, 1945. Römerstraße, Heidelberg, Germany. The fountain pen stopped mid-sentence as 23-year-old Ingrid Becker wrote in her journal, recording words that would have earned her immediate arrest if discovered by retreating Wehrmacht officers. The Americans are nothing like what they told us. They have chocolate, real chocolate, and they smile at children. Through the cracked window of her family's apartment, she had just witnessed something that contradicted 6 years of Nazi propaganda. American soldiers of the 63rd Infantry Division were distributing candy bars to German children, not the poisoned sweets that Goebbels had warned about, but genuine Hershey bars that made the children laugh for the first time in months. The GIs wore clean uniforms, had white teeth, and showed no signs of the barbarism that Nazi officials had promised would follow American occupation. 20,000 American soldiers entered Heidelberg that Good Friday without firing a shot. The university city had been declared an open city to preserve its medieval architecture. What neither the German women watching from behind curtains nor the American soldiers knew was that this moment would trigger one of the most complex social transformations in modern occupation history. A systematic breakdown of barriers between conqueror and conquered through the simple force of human nature. The statistics of romantic transformation were being written not in military directives, but in marriage applications that would soon flood American military offices. 14,000 German women would apply to marry American servicemen within 18 months, forever altering the trajectory of both nations. The speed of Germany's collapse in spring 1945 brought American forces into German cities faster than anyone had anticipated. Frankfurt fell on March 29, 1945, to General Patton's Third Army. Heidelberg surrendered the next day without resistance. Nuremberg, the symbolic heart of Nazism, fell on April 20th, Hitler's birthday. Munich was captured on April 30th, the same day Hitler committed suicide in Berlin. By July 4th, Independence Day, American forces entered their designated sector of Berlin. Among the first Americans to establish permanent headquarters was Colonel William W. Dawson, who would oversee the transformation of Heidelberg into the nerve center of American occupation. His diary, discovered in military archives decades later, would provide historians with the most detailed account of early German-American interactions from the military perspective. The first encounters between American soldiers and German civilians began within hours of occupation. Private First Class James Morrison of Brooklyn, serving with the 3rd Infantry Division, wrote to his mother on April 2, 1945, "The German people stare at us like we're from another planet. The women especially seem shocked that we're not the monsters they were told about. One old lady burst into tears when I helped her carry water buckets. She kept saying danke, danke over and over." But the most profound shock came from what the Germans saw of American abundance. Corporal Robert Hayes, stationed in Frankfurt, documented the reaction. "They can't believe how much food we have. Our K rations, which we complain about constantly, contain more meat than German civilians have seen in months. When we throw away half-eaten meals, the German kids fight over the scraps." The American military machine that rolled into Germany represented industrial might beyond German comprehension. The 12th Army Group alone consisted of 1.3 million men, supported by 460,000 vehicles, consuming 1.25 million gallons of gasoline daily. Each American division possessed more trucks than entire German Army Corps. The Dental Corps alone, treating soldiers' teeth, employed more dentists than existed in all of Bavaria. President Franklin D. Roosevelt had personally instructed General Dwight D. Eisenhower in September 1944. "The German people as a whole must have it driven home to them that the whole nation has been engaged in a lawless conspiracy against the decencies of modern civilization." This philosophy materialized as the non-fraternization policy, formally codified in Joint Chiefs of Staff Directive 1067, signed by President Truman on May 10, 1945. The policy was absolute. No American soldier could speak to a German adult except on official business. The penalty was severe, a $65 fine, equivalent to a private's entire monthly pay. Soldiers caught fraternizing faced court-martial and reduction in rank. Military police were instructed to patrol streets, parks, and cafes, arresting any Americans seen talking to German civilians. Technical Sergeant William Barnes of the 82nd Airborne Division kept a detailed account that survived in his personal effects. "The order is impossible. We're living among these people. German women work in our mess halls, clean our barracks, wash our uniforms. How can we not speak to them? Yesterday I was fined for saying Guten Morgen to our unit's cleaning lady, a 60-year-old grandmother." The first crack in the policy came remarkably quickly. On June 11, 1945, just 5 weeks after Germany's surrender, Eisenhower modified the order to permit soldiers to speak with German children. The sight of GIs playing with German youngsters, teaching them baseball, sharing chocolate, became common across the occupation zone. By July 1945, soldiers could converse with adults in public places, though entering German homes remained forbidden. The complete collapse came on October 1, 1945, when SHAEF, Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force, ended the fraternization ban entirely, except for prohibitions on marriage and billeting in German homes. "We knew it was over when we saw the dancing," wrote WAC Lieutenant Dorothy Patterson, stationed in Frankfurt. "The service clubs started holding dances in August. German girls would arrive in their best dresses, often their only dresses. The MPs were supposed to keep them out, but they gave up. By September, every dance had more German girls than American nurses." The winter of 1946 to 47 would enter German memory as the Hungerwinter, when temperatures dropped to -25 degrees Celsius and coal supplies ran out. But even before this catastrophe, German civilians faced starvation